Hi, welcome to Trailers from Hell. I'm Larry Karaszewski. Now, people think of the 1970s as this very liberal, experimental time in American cinema, but they forget that as late as 1971, John Wayne was the #1 box office star in this country. Coming off of his Oscar win for True Grit, he made quite a number of late-period westerns. Some of them pretty good, like The Cowboys or The Shootist, but this one might be my personal favorite from 1971. It's Big Jake.
John Fane. John Fane stops at bank robberies, train robberies, and killing. Fane and his gang raided the McCandles ranch and kidnapped little Jake McCandles. They held him for $1 million in ransom. They weren't afraid of the Army, and they weren't afraid of the Texas Rangers. And they thought his grandfather, Big Jake McCandles, was dead. He wasn't.
If I was 10 when Stagecoach came out, I'm sure young John Wayne would be my hero. Or if I was 10 when The Quiet Man came out, middle-aged John Wayne would be my go-to guy. But as fate had it, I was 10 when Big Jake came out. So I have an absurd fondness for old man John Wayne. It's easy today to say he had grown out of touch because all we really think about in terms of the late 60s and early 70s is the hippie anti-war movement. But that was the counterculture. John Wayne was still the culture. Richard Nixon, the silent majority, and love it or leave it Americana. Now, during this time period, Wayne famously turned down the role of Dirty Harry, and he regretted it. That movie cemented Clint Eastwood as the heir to Wayne's macho throne. Wayne tried to make his own versions of 70s urban cop films, Q, Brannigan, but they're pretty awful. So he actually grabs two of the screenwriters of Dirty Harry, Rita and Harry Fink, and, they do their own version here. There's a speech that gets repeated in Big Jake that feels very similar to Dirty Harry's "Do you feel lucky, punk? This 44 Magnum will blow your head clean off" soliloquy. Here it's anything goes wrong, anything at all, your fault, my fault, nobody's fault. It don't matter. I'm gonna blow your head off. No matter what else happens, no matter who gets killed, I'm gonna blow your head off. This is an extremely violent film, particularly considering it was rated G. It's also, though, very entertaining. Wayne has great fun interacting with his pet dog here. There's good stuff with everyone Wayne runs into saying, "I thought you were dead." And the cast is pretty solid. To bring in the youth crowd, there's Hollywood second-generation performers like Patrick Wayne and Chris Mitchum, plus Blue Velvet recording star Bobby Vinton, I guess taking the Ricky Nelson slot. And this is the final film John Wayne makes with his most frequent leading lady, Maureen O'Hara. But the co-star that really stands out in Big Jake is the great Richard Boone. The Finks worked with him on Have Gun Will Travel, and they write a great part here for him. He's such a nasty villain. He kills so many characters that the upbeat happy ending just doesn't work. John Wayne, why are you smiling when all your pals are dead? Maybe the tone shift is because credited director George Sherman got ill and Wayne allegedly directed much of the film himself. I mean, this is far from a great movie, but I've always felt it's a lot of fun, and I recommend Big Jake.
Anything goes wrong, anything at all. Your fault, my fault, nobody's fault. It don't matter. I'm gonna blow your head off. Simple as that.